All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a Kiss-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope that you enjoy. Welcome to episode 202, a breaking news edition of the KissFAQ podcast. Well, not really.
Emergency edition.
Yeah, that's what you called it. We got to do this emergency episode. Like, no one thought that the announcement of the end of the road was coming. I mean, if it was a state secret, the state would have been taken over by all its neighboring nations by now, because Gene's been talking about it, everyone's been talking about it, and the fans have been saying, when you guys going to hang up your boots? No, they haven't. Not the real fans. Anyone who's happy that this has finally happened sucks. There you go. So there's a few of us on today. Some of us you can see, and some of us you won't be able to see. In the background, hiding, is Bag Boy Alex. After nearly a year intermission since your last visit with us, welcome back.
Thank you.
Also joining me is 69th Blizzard Ken,
Hey.
St. Louis Kiss Lonnie, and
What's up?
Little cat boy will be around shortly, also dialing in from his phone. He's tardy, but there you go. That's what happens with drummers. Can't keep time. All right. So that was really cold, Andrew. I owe you a beer. So let's just talk about this. Ken, I'm going to start with you. You're the elder here. You've been the fan the longest out of all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's...
I'm off to a fantastic start here. No, you've been a fan since,
Yes.
77. So, I mean, what's your take on the announcement last night? Did you watch America, what's this show called? America's Got Talent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I watched it. My take on it is, it was just kind of what I expected. When they said it was a big announcement, we already knew it. We already knew, what to expect. I was hoping that maybe there'd be something else added on with the announcement that they're touring and this is their, farewell tour.
Not the farewell tour.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the performance, in general, and I pretty much got what I expected.
Yeah, well, respect to Tommy for being there with his father passing at the weekend. It was mundane. It was ho-hum. I mean, Alex, what was your take? I mean, does it hit you in the heart? You're like, oh my goodness, this is my band. They're finally going to do what they always said they didn't want to do?
I think so. I mean, I think after the first farewell tour, the question kind of was, well, when is it going to happen? And, it finally came. I wasn't expecting it with America's Got Talent until, of course, we knew they were going to be on the show that day, and they said stay tuned, kind of a thing. It's a bit bittersweet, these guys have been heroes for a lot of us. Kiss, for a lot of people, isn't just a rock and roll band or something to listen to. For some of us, it's been that motivation that's given us the drive to do things in life and so forth. Whether it's, you're going through a breakup and you put on a Kiss song, or you need motivation, or you're working out at the gym, or you're like Lonnie dressing up as Gene Simmons for a marathon or whatnot. Yeah, But and so for some of us, I think it's a little bit reality. It's coming in. At the same time, I think it's happy though. I mean, it's a mixture. I'm happy. Paul, I think, mentioned a couple months ago, like in an interview about having a family and stuff, and so you kind of think a little bit like they're going to get time now with the families. And one thing I know Julian stressed with the show and stuff's always been, family is important, kind of a thing. So
yeah, family is everything that it's about. Now, Lonnie, you've already moved on to the next thing musically in your life. We know from the photos that we've seen. But how does it kind of affect you?
It was deja vu to me yesterday. I felt like, well, I think I've seen this before, actually. But in all seriousness, it does hit me. It, 18, when the farewell tour happened, you always kind of thought, oh, well, come on, they're going to do something again. They have to do something again. But in this case, Gene just turned 69 years old last month. It is time to say goodbye to the fans properly, while there is time to say goodbye to the fans properly. So it hit me that it sucks, but at the same time, it's a bittersweet because I'm looking forward to seeing them again. Unfortunately, it'll be for the last few times. So what I thought was really stupid was the fact that Tyra Banks is the one that first said you guys are going out on the end of the road tour. Let Paul Stanley freaking say it, or let Gene say it. Why did she get to say that? I thought that was pretty bad.
Yeah, Paul looked a little uncomfortable by the whole thing. I mean, whether it was nerves of he really means it this time and knows that it really is the end, so to speak. But he seemed a little choked up, a little emotional. And she was all just like, yeah, okay, Kiss is calling. Yeah, that's really nice, couldn't care. Really couldn't be bothered by whatever.
I don't even know what your name is.
Yeah, who are you? Are you the tongue guy or is that the tongue guy? For me, they've been such a part of my life, especially the last 25 years online doing the websites and the writing, that it almost feels not that you're losing a family member. It's not that sort of loss. It's like a favorite car that you've had for 15 or 20 years, that you've driven into the ground, that you've done cross-country road trips with, that you've had memories in the back seat. That sort of vehicle, that sort of story, that sort of timeline. And you're like, well, the old girl really can't even get out of the driveway anymore. And it's time to get a new vehicle. And for me, it's more of that kind of thing that I'm going to miss you, but off to the scrap heap you go. But we really do become emotionally attached to inanimate objects. That's how it is to me. I don't put this on like a sick relative level because that's just like morally reprehensible to me. But it's time. It feels like it's time. It feels like the fans have kind of, what fans are left, the diehards are really a rare breed at this point, and that we think it's time, and many fans have felt that it's time, and I'm excluding the fans who said it was time in 2000 and that they should never have continued, because I have a lot of very fond memories of the shows I've gone to in those, intervening years. Yeah, I'm sad, but I also feel that he said it now. It's like a weight off that Paul knows that it is time. Yeah. So I'm kind of happy in that sense that, I'm not going to go out and get a new car in terms of there's not going to be a Taylor Swift FAQ suddenly arising.
Easy there, hotshot.
Sorry. Sorry, hand grenades. There's not going to be any of that. I don't have any bands to switch kind of this interest in. Rush is gone. Aerosmith, well, have been long gone technically.
Long gone.
They just don't know it yet. They're like a dinosaur. So I don't have anything. Alex, let's go back to you. Are you going to catch any shows?
Yeah. In fact, it was funny because earlier that day, we just moved into a new apartment, me and my wife, and we got a baby coming in March, so we're excited on that. And so she went to go work out, and she comes in and had a Kiss concert playing, and she's like, "Are you really watching a Kiss concert?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm cleaning the house and putting stuff away." And it was just funny because later that evening we got off work, and I was like, "So Kiss announced the end of the road tour," and she goes, "Oh, do you want to go to a concert?" Do I? So I'm hoping to make it to at least a show. I'm hoping they'll either hit up like the Utah, Idaho area, and I'll go to it. I hope they, and they probably get those questions, but I hope they do. They say it's going to be the biggest and stuff show, so I'm hoping they do a good set list. And I know Julian, you saw the Utopia reunion, and they kind of did the two sets. They had a 20-minute intermission, and personally, I would hope Kiss, if they're doing a bigger show, might even consider doing something like that so they can give a good length show and not a 90-minute show, but do a 20-minute intermission and give me an hour here and an hour there, or make it long.
Right, and just don't do it, around March when your baby is due,
Yeah.
or for the 3 months that follow that, because you're going to be busy. Congratulations to you and your
Thank
wife,
you.
by the way. It's a wonderful adventure you'll be embarking on, the process, getting there, and after the child arrives. Oh my God, how it changes. Ken, what about you? I mean, are you going to catch shows? Will you do road trips, or will you just take one in the area and call that it?
Well, definitely a local one. If they're going to do a full tour, I would say they would probably hit the Bay Area somewhere, whether it be San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, or Sacramento. And if they hit a couple of those spots, I'll go to two shows. It's a possibility that I would travel. Maybe down south a bit in the state, or I don't know about, if they play somewhere in Vegas or something like that. But yeah, I'm up for two shows at least. Definitely local. I mean, they got to hit this area. They haven't hit it since 2014 or whenever. So they're due anyway for this area.
Yeah, they're far overdue, but one of the things that concerns me, obviously, is all going to be around ticket sales. Northern California for us, if you remember, they canceled Mountain View last turnaround because there just weren't the tickets in the region. So I would love to. I've never done it. I know a lot of people who did, kind of road trips on the Live Worldwide and for the farewell tour. I mean, farewell tour, we went up to Marysville, came back, and I can't remember now, but there were like 3 shows around the farewell tour. I did 2 of the 3, or whatever. I definitely want to do more of a run this time around, especially if it is the last time. I want to do LA and then hopefully San Bernardino, and then working the way up, do Las Vegas, do Bay Area.
Fresno, sometimes
Hopefully the sales are strong enough, or that it's routed, that there are enough shows, and you can also do a road trip that they're not taking 2 days off in between. They're doing a good maybe 3 shows and a day off, and then it's structured in such a way. I don't have strong hopes for that, but I'd like to travel for shows this time around, because I've been to Vegas, I've been to LA. I'd like to go to Oregon. I have no other reason to go there. Go to Portland or Seattle and catch some.
Give me an excuse to go.
Yeah, go see a couple of other states in the union that I've not been to. So it also depends on ticket package prices and all of that, because it's going to be it's going to be a gouge fest. I'm pretty sure of that. But I also don't think it's going to be a long show. I think it's going to be a shorter one, just out of necessity, and I think it's going to be packaged up with an attractive act. So I want to hit the road, and who knows what's going to happen. Lonnie, what about you? One in your area, or are you going to be a road warrior?
Definitely one in my area. They usually come here. They usually come to St. Louis on any major tour. So definitely one here that I want to go to with my brother, who turned me on to the band, so him and I can say goodbye to him together, and then a road trip as well, whether it be Chicago or Indianapolis or Kansas City, a city within driving distance from here. So at least 2 shows, and and if it is like a 2-3 year tour, who knows? Like Motley did, like when Motley did their farewell tour, whatever you want to call it. They did a full run through the states, and then they came back and did like major cities one more time, or like the next summer even, before because it was a full 2-year run. They kind of did another run through the states. So who knows? We'll have to see how the tours map out and what the demand is. But no, I definitely want to do 2 shows at a minimum. There's no question. And I know it's going to be expensive, and I know it's going to be we know there's going to be some kind of package with it to help ticket sales. But
yeah, I think we're all diehard enough that we do a podcast that we're more than likely to see 1 plus or minus N shows if possible. Alex, right. I mean, does the announcement of this is the end, making rumor fact, change how you approach the band now?
I don't think so. I mean, but again, maybe hasn't set in just yet, kind of a thing. But I think I'm just happy that they've lasted as long as they did. You know, considering my first Kiss show was in '09, if they had called it good at the end of the original farewell tour, I would never have seen them in concert. You know, so I'm happy, and you know, I guess for me, you know, we've got the albums, we've got the concert footage. Of course, Kiss, you guys can release more now that you're off the road. You know, I'm happy with you know what they're going with, and I think, you know, to give us a chance to you know, rock and roll all night, party every day one last time, but just to really enjoy everything. In fact, I've been listening to the albums here at work and stuff, and just going like, man, that's such a good song, or that's, you know, I gave that song an underrated. I missed the last episode of Animalize where you guys went through, but I listened to the album again. I was like, you know, Burn Bitch Burn is not that bad of a song. Give or take. I was like, you know, it's actually got a pretty good catchy riff though, you know, and so I think that's the exciting part, you know. As much as it's kind of an end, I think for some, hopefully you could take the time to reminisce and go back and look at all the albums again, and for the who knows 100th time, and look at it at a new perspective, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder how many people were shocked last night. They're still around?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Lonnie, what about you in terms of your approach? I mean, obviously, we speak nearly on a weekly basis, and, you know.
Right. You know, I'm happy about it. I hope that it leads to, I think that the solo album announcement this week is the beginning of Kiss trying to grab every ounce of money I have in my savings account over the next 2 or 3 years. I think we're going to see more releases like that as we go on, whether it be more vinyl or more CD re-releases, iTunes special editions, whatever. I think they're going to try to get me for everything I have while they still can. But I'm excited about it. You know what I mean? It's a Kiss tour, and I'm always excited. I'm always excited about a Kiss tour, no matter what the reasoning for the tour is. And I remember in 2000 when they announced the farewell tour, I was excited then, even though it was the farewell tour. I was just excited that they were going to tour, because Psycho Circus didn't come to St. Louis because the tour, you know, stopped short in the U.S. So I hadn't seen them in 4 years at that point. So just the fact that they were going to tour, I was excited about it. It's like, this is the last time? Sure, I don't care. But you know what? I just got to see them. So it just made me excited. So at the same time, even 18 years later, I'm still excited in the fact that they're just going to tour, and I'm going to get to see them. And I've always treated any tour since the farewell tour as a bonus, because I bought into the farewell tour. So in 03, I got to see him with Aerosmith. And you know what? I don't know. Is this it? I don't know. 04, I really thought that was it in 04 after some of the attendance at the shows I saw in 04. And then they didn't do anything for a while. So I've really just treated every time I've seen them as a bonus since 2000. So I consider this a bonus as well, and I get to say goodbye to them properly one last time. So I'm excited. I really am.
Ken, how about you? Because we need the voice of reason here, because Lonnie was just irrational there.
Well, for me, I mean, they've been through so many changes since, you know, I've seen them with as far as members taking off the makeup, saying that they're never going to put the makeup on. Then they do put it back on, and, you know, get back in the reunion, which they said, oh no, we're not getting back with Peter and Ace. And I see, you know, they say something that doesn't always mean they're going to do what they say, or they may change their mind. It's just like the first farewell tour. They planned on ending it, but decided to continue. At least Paul did. I think from his standpoint, you know, saying, you know, why do I have to stop? Because I didn't like playing with those two other guys in the band. So
even though they came back with one of them.
and then continued. So, you know, at this point, I do think they're truly going to end it. And I feel it is time. You know, they're hitting that age anyway. So for me, it's I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. You know, I kind of like when they get to after the 3 years are over, and maybe they do that final last show. Maybe it's Madison Square Garden as the last show. I don't know what it's going to be. We don't know. after time passes after that and nothing's happening anymore,
Hey, can you hear me?
Well, we hear you, Andrew.
Yeah,
Maybe,
what's up?
maybe maybe it'll, maybe I'll realize it's really, really done, and then it may, I don't know, I may feel differently about it at that point, but it seems it just keeps going and keeps going for some reason. It's like a machine. So I don't know what my feelings are going to be after the 3-year period ends. We'll see.
Depends on the shows too.
absolutely. Hey, Andrew, you're tardy. Did you bring your pencil?
Waldo. Yeah, listen, I'm sorry about that. I'm on the road. I'm going to see good old Uncle Gene.
Sounds like your windows are rolled down.
They're actually not. I mean, I'm just using the
Sounds
headset.
like you need new tires then.
Oh, well, I'm in a rental car, and I'm using the headset. So I do apologize for anything, but I did want to make sure I chime in on this because, as you guys know, we all know this is the worst kept secret, I think, of all history, right?
Oh, there's a few up there, so let's get you caught up quickly because Alex is on a tight timeline, and we don't want this to be a 3-hour episode. But, I mean, you knew this was coming. Obviously, everyone knew it was coming, but what was your gut reaction, your gut check to when it was actually done? I mean, knowing and actually hearing him say the words, or Tyra say the words, are two different things. What did you think last night when you saw it?
I was relieved a little bit, to be completely honest with you. These guys, we think they're superheroes, but they're still human, and they deserve to rest. It's been 45 years since they started this. They've been in makeup longer this time than they were the original time. It's taken its toll. It's time for them to rest. It's time for them to hang it up, and it's time for them to just do one more victory lap because they've earned it. So,
Laps.
when I heard laps. So when I heard it, I was like, oh well, you know what? Good for them. They probably don't want to stick around here much longer, and you know what? I don't know if a tour is going to last 3 years, but you know what? A good farewell to them, and there's so many points of contention for this, but I would say they're finishing up close to the top. Good for them. They've won.
Yep, they're still here, and their detractors are, well, not. So
they're not.
let me just go to Alex, and then I'll catch up on a couple of the questions that we've already covered with you. But Alex, start us off on this next one. I mean, what would be your most important win to get out of the band during its final tour? The one thing that you would really like to see?
I think for me, and you can do it kind of like with Gene with the shows, I'd like to see them invite former members to local shows. So, if they're doing New Jersey, have Peter Criss come out and do Beth as part of the encore, and say we got special guest Peter Criss to do Beth. I know things are interesting with Vinny, but if they're doing Lick It Up in the set list and have Vinny at the Nashville show, have them come out and do guitar with them doing Lick It Up. If they're in LA with Bruce Kulick, have Bruce come out and do Unholy. Just take the opportunity, do something fun, and then document this tour. If they're doing different songs at different shows, if they are videoing every show, put the ultimate live package DVD Blu-ray set and include the different songs. If they did Radioactive in Mexico City at the show, throw Radioactive onto the show, onto this, the DVD. But I think take an opportunity to have fun and end it on a good note. Same with Ace. Have Ace come out and do Shock Me, just make it a good farewell, make it a good, we've done this for 45 years, thank you guys, I think is what I'd like to see. And
Lonnie, what about you?
I echo what Alex said. That's really what I would want to, is for them to honor their past properly and honor their former members properly, give them the credit that they deserve, and not. Don't get me wrong, I really, really enjoy the current lineup, but I would really like to see former members be acknowledged during this final run. And you don't have to do it every night, because I know it's not going to be feasible to do it every night, But when you're in a city where it is feasible to honor that former member, just bury the hatchet for a couple minutes and let's celebrate what this band means to not only the other band members, but what it means to the fans too, and really give back to the fans what they deserve for this final run. I would relish that if that would happen on multiple nights throughout this tour, to see former members honored in their proper way, because they've never really done that before. So I think that would be the top for me, for them to really be humble and honor those members.
Andrew, what about you? I mean, are you going to catch shows, and how does the announcement change how you're going to approach the band from here on out?
It doesn't change any way I'm going to approach the band. I've loved the band since I first heard them in 1988, and I'm still going to love them in 2088, God willing, if I'm alive. It doesn't change anything. I'm going to catch some shows. Maybe I'm not going to catch as many shows as I would have in the 90s or in the reunion era, but I'm going to catch some shows. I'm going to have a good time. This doesn't change anything for me. This is another reason for me to catch Kiss and see all my friends again. This isn't this isn't hey, if they play St. Louis and it's on a weekend and I can go, I'm going to go.
I got a house rate stay.
And I'm going to hang with Lonnie. If it works out and I can come out, to San Francisco or LA, and Julian, you're going to the show, I'm going to come hang out with you and Jonathan Fenno. Same thing with anyone else that's around. It's about celebrating why we like this band, why we love this band. It doesn't change anything for me.
No, that's the nice way to think about it. Ken, what about your one most important win or thing that you got to get out of the end?
Well, it's just like, echoing Alex and Lonnie, getting giving tribute to their history, and making sure people know their history and who helped throughout the way. All the members, including Eric Carr. Somehow honor him. However you're going to do it, I don't know, but. Yeah, you have to, show the history of the band, and whether it be through videos in some cases, or if you can get, like they said, members showing up at certain concerts, maybe once a week, if they can get some people out, or once a month even, that would be great. It may not happen until the very end. The other thing is, and they're talking about a big show. I want to see a big show. I really hope they do something huge, stage-wise change. Give us something huge, big, something different. Costumes, yeah. Let's refresh. Whether it's going back to Destroyer or whatever. Let's do a change from the Creatures costumes into something else now. Make it special, or brand new costume design. That would be really cool for me. I think, if they do it right, it would be very cool. So, honoring the past is very important, and not to forget about anybody that helped you, get to where you are now.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what Alex, what you, what Lonnie and Andrew, what everyone has said on this is about honoring their history and their legacy. But my one thing I've got to get out of this show is it's got to be a real production again. It's got to be a show. Yeah. Get rid of the video screens or use them properly to augment. But there's got to be pyro. You got to feel the heat. There's got to be a stage show. There has to be a stage, not just plumber pipe. Come on! It's basically become scaffolding. And come on, that spider worked about as much, that it became scaffolding. It was a nice idea, but I think one that was better in concept. I want to see. I've talked about it. I've said something like the Destroyer stage, something that had tactile elements to it. Maybe a stage that celebrates all stages that have been done before, but has more pyro, more fire, more lights, because this is the end. I want it seared into my remaining brain cells, the awesomeness and majesty of the Kiss show.
I think, real quick, Julian, and you saw it with the Utopia show, when he did a song called Communion with the Sun, they had the screen show the 77 stage design that Utopia had used. I think if they do use screens to take advantage of doing something like that, then, and this is that they can recreate some of those old stage sets, then if they use screen monitors on this stage.
Hey, you know what I always said? I always said the backdrop of the stage should look like a 1970s New York City skyscape. How cool would it be if there are buildings in there, and one building, drools blood, or one building has fire shooting out of it, or, Kiss enters the stage through the elevator of the largest building, which is the Empire State Building, because Kiss is larger than life. So imagine them descending from the stage in an elevator, but it's an elevator on steroids. And Kiss and Kiss is from New York, and Kiss needs to honor New York, because I don't believe Kiss has ever properly honored New York City. They did in the early days, but they haven't for quite some time. So how cool would it be if Kiss comes on stage with this futuristic-looking New York City backline, and this is the band from the streets of New York, and this is the streets of New York? How cool would that be? Am I hired yet?
Apocalyptic Escape from New
York.
Then
they destroy it. It becomes the back.
Then they blow it up. Blow it up.
Then they blow it up with style, though. I mean, I don't want people to be offended if the Twin Towers are up there. I want them to do it in style. I want them to do it in style. I want the Empire State Building to be there. I want Gene smashing it like he's King Kong. I want I want these things would be so cool if they could do them. And for a fan to see that, that'd be great. What's the Jumbotron going to be? The Jumbotron's going to look like a Jumbotron from Times Square. There's not going to be just a whole screen to be the back of the stage. The screen's going to be mounted inside one of these giant buildings. Eric is playing on the helicopter landing of a building, and every time he elevates, you think that his drums are going to take off like a helicopter. These things could be done. I mean, look at what Motley Crue did on their farewell tour. They had two very distinct stages on their farewell tour. Tommy Lee had a drum riser that was like a roller coaster that came out into the crowd that was like nothing any of us had ever seen before. Do something like that. Pay homage to your roots, and your roots are New York City.
Yeah, just don't pay homage to Motley Crue. I hated their end was one that I wanted Kevorkian next to the stage for them to put them out of their misery once and for all. That was.
But which stage did you see though? Because remember, there were two different ones.
I don't remember. It was more the performance that killed me.
Well, I'm going to agree with you there.
That they just did no justice. I mean, it was so bad. I loved them in 2012, their stage, and I thought they blew Kiss away at that time. But, okay, let's get to this last question here, because we don't want this to be, again, a 3-hour episode. Alex, what's your biggest please don't do that plea to the band when it comes to the end?
I think for me, just proper merchandising, for this tour. They need to, enough of the Hello Kitty crap and the, stuff like that. Make a good tour package CD to sell at the shows. Somehow work your magic to reissue the Kissology. This is the time to sell the stuff too, to sell the reissues and stuff like that. They can. If they got anything in the works right now, Kissology 4 and stuff, this is the time to get it out there into the market, because now they're getting that spotlight stuff. So for me, proper merchandising, enough Kiss bowling balls and Kiss lamps and stuff and stools, get some music product, video product out there.
Have all those things.
And, proper History 3 being all the tour books, piled together. So.
Lamps, bowling balls, and stools. I have all of those.
Baseballs.
I'm going to jump in with my biggest plea, and it's just do it right. I mean, cut out the meet and greets. get rid of the actual meet and greet component and assembly line the photos so that you just stand there, people come in and get their photo with you one last time. None of them bringing their backpacks full of shit to get signed. Forget all that. $750, you're getting a photo with the band one last time. And you are just assembly line through it. Don't blink. Boom, boom, 2 shots. Look here, here's the birdie. Take the fucking picture. Now beat it.
Exactly. Real quick, exactly.
I think that's the way to do it. I totally agree with that, Julian.
Exactly. When Utopia did the tour, you got an automatic signed poster, and they sold signed tour books. But it was just but quickly like that. Just hey, take your photo and here's a signed poster. That's your autograph from the band.
Yeah, and it's like Def Leppard. I'm seeing them tomorrow night, and it's like no autographs. You are not. Here's your swag bag. It's got an autograph litho in it. That's your autographed item. But I think Kiss also needs to make sure that there's an album. It doesn't have to be a greatest hits. It doesn't have to be new music. It could be archival stuff that everyone gets with their ticket. I mean, look at the people who've been buying Paul McCartney tickets and getting the new album in the post. So that's my... Don't do meet and greets how you've done them in the past. Please move on from that and, update it so that it works better and isn't a strain on your time. And you could just maybe have a mannequin prop up your backside to hold you up while people have their photos taken. Just don't do it how you've been doing it. Ken?
Yeah, I guess doing it right, I agree with you, Julian, about, just do it right. I mean, the meet and greets, they need to streamline things like that. And like you said, maybe, if they do an album, if you buy a ticket, you get some kind of a CD, or you have a choice between a CD and maybe a print or whatever, something. That would be pretty cool. They could also do some things with, the show that you go to. I'm guessing they might record them all. Maybe like the reunion, like they did, and maybe you can get a copy of that after the show. Not instantly, but sometime after. It could be mailed to you.
Oh man, I miss those instant live days.
Yeah, that would be cool. It would be great to see a full show on video of when I was at. That's not a bootleg audience film kind of thing. Otherwise, I was thinking, they're missing something right now. I don't know why the dates aren't out yet. I mean, they should have had these dates ready the next day after the America's Got Talent to sell. I mean, the longer they go from this day forward without giving us those on sale dates, you're going to lose some of those people that have it fresh in their mind right now. Those fair weather people that might go.
Yeah.
I was really surprised dates weren't out.
Yeah, so they got to get those dates out as soon as possible, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if not, hit some more TV stations. Lonnie, what's your please don't do that plea to the band?
I echo what Ken just said. I mean, when's the last time that a band announced its tour and you didn't have any dates? It was very strange.
We're going on tour.
We're going on tour.
Sometime.
But wait a few weeks, maybe a month or so, we might announce some dates. Just go to Kiss Online. I've never seen them. But what I don't want to see is if the tour's not selling well for them just to keep on touring. Don't go out on a whimper like Motley Crue did. Or I hope that they sound as good as they possibly can sound for this last run, and I don't want to walk away like a lot of fans walked away from Motley Crue thinking, yeah, you know what? It's way past time. They should have done this a long time ago. So I hope the performance is as good as it possibly can be, and that I walk away from there thinking, then I'm damn proud to be a Kiss fan.
Hallelujah. Andrew?
Change the set list, please!
Amen. That's not going to happen.
Please!
It's not happening.
Not happening.
I understand that there's going to be your staple songs in there, but listen, if you just rotate one song a night, I will be so happy. I'll become the mayor. I'll be shaking everybody's hand, kissing babies. Just change something a little bit. Give us something cool. rotate the opening number. One night open up with Detroit, one night open up with King. Even that little, I'd be like, oh my God, it's great. I got to go. Because you're going to want repeat customers. I mean, bands make their money now touring. I know Kiss doesn't need more money, but who are we to tell them when money is enough? But if you want to get a repeat customer, just change the set list a little bit. I don't want drastically different set lists every night because I understand that lighting cues and pyro cues have to be timed, and I get all that. I want the show to be great. But just do something little. Just put in the littlest amount of effort into the set list as possible, and it will be like a gargantuan step forward from what they've been doing the last 10 years. Just do, even if you close with Black Diamond instead of Rock and Roll All Night, I'd be happy at this point because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, or closing with Let Me Go Rock and Roll. I mean, come on.
Even that.
You could have 3 different openers or 3 different closers and change the order, and it could be very simple from that perspective. And come on, we have things called computers now for lighting and pyro.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how far we've come.
And can I chime in? Yeah, real quick with that. I mean, they can even with the set have like song 5 and song 11 of the set list be that rotated song, so they know we're not going to do anything crazy pyro here or lighting, but this is going to be what we're going to throw in the gym. We're throwing a fun song. This will be radioactive tonight.
Yeah, like I agree. Do you guys remember in 2012 when they were doing a rotating encore? And it wasn't even a rare song. Like somebody said, You Got to Choose and Strutter and Deuce. And they were rotating the encore for quite a bit on the 2012 tour. And you can see that by logging on to kissmonster.com to see all of your set list needs. And make sure you log on. Make sure you log on to kissmonster.com.
Just as I'm about to shut the site down. God.
Yeah,
thanks.
right.
It's actually go to kissendoftheroad.com is where I'm going to be doing all the updated sets, and everything that was in the books is going up on the website for people to read. Yeah. And that's going to be where I keep track of all the sets and whatnot.
Or buy one of those great on-tour books to see the set list. I mean, Kiss is a band that hasn't changed the set list much, but just do something cool. Make a cool set list for this last time around, and the fans will be happy. Yeah. Do you remember when you didn't know what songs they were going to play? Or do you remember from tour to tour, like from the Crazy Nights to the Hot in the Shade tour, how much the set list changed? Even from the Hot in the Shade tour to the Revenge tour. I mean, you guys, we went nuts because, oh my God, I can't believe they're playing this time.
I mean, what was the show? What was the show where they stuck Rock and Roll All Night in the middle of the
Revenge?
That was Revenge.
Yeah. It was in the middle of the show. I was like,
well, they did 10 encores. I mean, that was why, but
but I mean, even if doing just something small, I mean, Julian, you probably remember this one better than anyone else because you were at the show. But when they pulled out She and Nothing to Lose at Dodger Stadium in '98, everyone was like, "Oh my God, I don't care that Ace is fat," or I think that the band didn't play in the record, but they're doing cool songs.
To on the radio that night. It was unbelievable.
And then real quick, Andrew, you have both the Rock the Nation shows, and they had a different set list. I mean, how was that for you?
I mean, that was incredible seeing that, but the Rock the Nation tour was great because it was advertised as they were doing different songs. If you were a Kiss fan, you knew that you weren't getting God of Thunder, you were getting Unholy at this time. So that was very, very cool. So can you imagine if they just stepped out of the box a little bit? Don't reinvent the wheel. Maybe put new tires on the wheel and maybe put a chrome rim on there.
All right, so Andrew says don't stay in the box. Get out of the box. All right, so that's a quick response video to this announcement. We're going to do episodes, and we're going to talk about different facets of this, as are all the other podcasts. It's what we do. So for now, I just do want to mention, because I've got some pre-orders for those people who are attending the gathering at the cruise in person. Hardcover copies of Danger Zone. I finally decided to put it out. I've given up trying to get all the other interviews. It's just been a year of frustration. It is what it is, and I think it's as detailed as it's going to get. But go on the FAQ website, and you can see where to order that. You can only get it from me in person at the Gathering event, and you'll need a ticket for the Gathering separate to purchasing the book. But for now, Alex, it's good to have you back on here and talk to you.
Thank you.
Andrew, put your head back in the window because I can't hear anything. Lonnie, Ken, thank you all. And to everyone out there, think about these questions. It's now real. The end has been announced. Think about your relationship with that band that you've had a part of your life for so many years and see if it changes what you think. And let us know. Chime in wherever you listen or watch this show on the KissFAQ or Facebook. But for now, from Alex, from Andrew, from Ken, from Lonnie and myself, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.